Today we're going to discuss Pinterest marketing. At the same time, we're going to discuss all the best practices you must follow in order to succeed at Pinterest. And I'll be walking you through how to go about doing keyword research, how to go about optimizing your Pinterest profile, your Pinterest posts, and I will also walk you through various Pinterest pages which are doing great at Pinterest marketing. So let's jump right ahead. So before we go in, we have to ask why we have to use Pinterest. And Pinterest is not usually one of the top social media channels which comes to your mind when you're thinking of social media channels and social media marketing. But Pinterest has its own place in social media marketing, and this is why you should be using Pinterest. First, it's higher lifetime after pinning. Once you share a post on Facebook and you share the same post on Pinterest, the post, its virality will die down faster in Facebook, while on Pinterest the virality and the possibility of virality extends for many days as compared to Facebook. Number two is it has higher shopping intent. People who come to Pinterest are usually looking to buy products, so the commercial intent is already there, and people who are on Pinterest usually are of high household income, so they are ready to pay their money online, so you have a higher chance of transaction value as compared to other social media channels. The third is get higher spending customers. As I told you before, household income is very high and people are looking to buy products online, so the customers who are spending time on Pinterest are willing to spend higher, so your ticket item and the average order value will be much higher. The popular niches, if you belong to these popular niches, home decor, travel, crafts, food, fashion and fitness, then you must consider Pinterest. And if your target market is USA and you're looking at an audience which is predominantly women, which is 80% in Pinterest, then you should definitely consider your brand focus on Pinterest. Here are the 7 Pinterest marketing tips or best practices, as you can say. The first one is to create an account for your business. I will walk you through that. This is the first fundamental step of creating a Pinterest marketing strategy. So let's jump right ahead. In order to create a business Pinterest account, first you have to go to business.pinterest.com/en. Then you have to click on the sign up onto the top right. Since I already have a Pinterest business account, I am directly being logged into it. To get started, first I will hover over the right image on top and I will go to settings. Once I go to settings, I'll get a bunch of options. I can update my business name here. I can change picture. I can use my username and fill in my about me page. So I am here for travel ideas and inspiration. Location, I would say Bangalore. Website, I can use something like arun.life. So you have to confirm your website. You have to copy this code and paste it on your website. And you can connect your social media accounts here too. I will walk you through how to do that in a minute. So fill in the basics. The most important basics here are profile name, which should be exactly as your brand name. Number 2 is your Pinterest username. This URL should be exactly as your brand name. Your about you should consider all the possible keywords. Your location should be right and you should link to your website, and also you should place this particular code into your website header tag so that Pinterest approves your website and you will have access to further benefits which I'm going to discuss in some time within this video itself. The second most important thing is to use Pinterest for market or product research. So search for the keyword Pinterest keyword research tool. In the first listing you will see pinterestkeywordtool.com. So now I'm going to type something like travel and search for popular keywords, and I see that travel codes, travel tips, travel tattoos, travel destinations, these are the popular keywords This particular keyword is just truly suggesting. These keywords are kind of scraped from the Pinterest drop down suggestion search, so they are highly relevant. So I will be copying this particular keywords onto a notepad. These are other list of keywords which has given travel destinations, travel USA, travel tips, travel trailer. These are basically from Pinterest search engine itself. The other way of using Pinterest for market research is to go to your competitor's Pinterest page and then you scroll down and see what are the top pins. For instance, Nordstrom created a board separately for top pins. I would like to see what are the kind of products people who follow Nordstrom have an affinity for and try to replicate that same product strategy. So these are the pins which people who follow Nordstrom or buy from Nordstrom buy usually online. So maybe if I'm starting an online store, I will stick to these kind of products over baby apparel or something like smartphone. So I might be using these kind of styles or these kind of jewelry and try to stick to what the trend is about rather than trying to innovate upfront. So these are the products. I will give the same page to my merchandising team, and the merchandising team might be interested in picking a few of these products and displaying them on the website. The other important aspect of Pinterest marketing is to be discoverable through search. Many people search on Pinterest and it has a big search box right up front, and even I have used people because people are on Pinterest for ideas and inspiration and they are looking for the best content out there. So the searching intent is very high, unlike in Instagram or Facebook. To make that happen, you have to know how to re-edit a pin. So if you might have uploaded a pin on Pinterest like few months ago and thinking that it would start getting viral or people who follow you start pinning the content, although it might happen, but you might want to go and re-edit that pin as per SEO keywords so that it starts ranking much better for the keywords which is relevant to that product. Number two is you use rich pins. I will explain what rich pins are in a while. Basically, if you have used Google and if you have searched for something like restaurants in Bangalore, you will get a list of all restaurants with ratings, opening time, closing time, what is the menu like, what are people saying, the reviews and all. Basically, they appear in Google search engine because it's called rich snippet. It's called rich snippet. Just the way Google uses rich snippet, there is something called rich pins by Pinterest. This is so that Pinterest understands your content best and it displays your content in a way that it starts ranking on Pinterest search engine much better, and also it gets much click throughs from users. So optimize boards. Boards are basically a place where you make a collection of all the best ideas in a very niche topic. It is like playlist for YouTube, and here you can use your creativity and try to communicate as many ideas and inspiration to people who are very much inclined towards that particular topic. You can have your own boards and you can optimize those boards for keyword ranking and SEO. You have to do keyword research as I explained in the previous steps, how to use Pinterest keywordtool.com, the link to which I'll place within the text section. Just open that, enter your root keyword, and it will give a list of all keywords which people on Pinterest are looking for. Now I'm going to walk you through rich pins and how to edit your pins and boards so that you start ranking in Pinterest search engine. So currently I'm logged into my Pinterest profile and these are the pins I uploaded. Now I want this particular pin to rank high in Pinterest search engine. For that I will go and enter the description. I would say description would be something like, this is my dream place, Cuba, how much I miss you, check out Havana space Cuba, one of the best places to visit in Cuba. So I'm adding more description with keywords so that I start ranking in search engine, and I can give it own section. I can create a section like travel, create. So this is basically like a tag, and you use tags on this page, and those tags are linked to another page which is relevant. So that also adds to the SEO tool. So board, I have a board called favorite places and spaces, and I'll click save. So I have optimized my previous image. Now I want this particular pin to rank in search engine. I will do something similar then. And before I enter this description, I will go to Pinterest keyword tool and enter France, because that place is in France, and see what exactly are the keywords people are looking for when it comes to France in Pinterest. So France travel, that's a good keyword. I will copy that. Traveling France has always been my dream. If you are looking for company to travel France, please do let me know via direct message. And here I can say France if I want to create a separate section, and I would like to stick to favorite places and spaces. Save. Yes. And I can also use the other keywords like France countryside, France travel, France photography. Maybe I'll go back and edit this. Say something not to be missed. See, that's it from this. So, and it should start ranking much better. So these are called rich pins. So it's about showing important details right on the pin. As I said, it is like rich snippets for Google search engine. This is for Pinterest though. In order to add rich pins, you have to go to this developers.pinterest.com, and here you will find all the documentation needed for implementing this. There are multiple kinds of pins. One is article pin. If you have a blog and you want that blog to be displayed in this particular fashion on Pinterest, then you have to implement article pins. And if you want to display your products in this kind of fashion so that people click on that product and buy the product. So if you see, this particular pin is so large and people will check it out because it has so much real estate on their screen. So if you want your Pinterest pins to be displayed this way, then definitely you should use product pins. Then there is recipe pins. If you have a food blog and you share recipes, then this is how you have to implement, and the implementation method is very similar. However, the schema is different. So if you are into recipe, you might want to define properties like ingredient URL or recipe yield or aggregate rating. So this is an example which you have to use, and the supported classes examples. So there is detailed documentation. It depends on what kind of website you are. So currently rich pins are for three types of websites, which is blog, e-commerce and food blogs. So try it out. This will rapidly improve your rich pin click-through rates. In order to see if you have implemented rich pins appropriately, you have to go to rich pins validator. You have to enter the URL and click validate, and it will tell if it has any issues. Another thing is you have to go to boards. Boards are where you make a collection of all the pins. So as I told you, I created a board for favorite places and spaces. Now I can do something like I can invite people to this board. that is one, so that people can collaborate. So suppose if I see that there are multiple people in my friends list who travel a lot and they are good travel photographers, then I can invite them to join this board and contribute their content. And then I can edit my board. I can edit the name too whenever I want to, and description. I can go rogue with my description with all the keywords and all. And what kind of board is it? It's about travel. Is it travel? Yes, there is travel. And secret, learn more, collaborators. I have already mentioned. Testing boards. Let's check what happens. So whatever text you mention in the description, it comes up here. So more text you add, more text appears here, better for SEO, and both in Google and Pinterest search engine. So play around with these tools. It's not that you just go watch a video and it's gonna happen. You have to play around with these tools before you get some mastery over it, and you will get more ideas as you walk through. Engage with your community. Find who pins your content often and follow them. This way you'll be building a relationship with other content creators on Pinterest. Pinterest is a very active community, and if your brand is relevant to women and it's one of the food or fitness or apparel category, then you should connect with other Pinterest users and follow them. You have to comment and reply. You have to keep the conversation going and increase the exposure of your pin further. You should pin others content. It's not just about you, it's about everyone in Pinterest. It's about the community, and get the influencers attention. There are many Pinterest power users. They really like Pinterest and been adding boards and pinning unique content, and they usually have many followers, and these followers can be followed further, and you can get the attention of these followers by pinning their content. You can create boards and invite people to add content. As I was sharing before, you can create a board and invite people who you think can add a lot of value to that. For instance, I have a couple of my friends who travel all across India and take photographs of the best places. Maybe I should give an Pinterest invitation and invite them to add content to my travel board. And you should also share pins with influencers in your list. You should make sure that your pins which are adding to Pinterest is unique and which is not already there out on Pinterest. You have to connect social media channels to Pinterest. This way, whenever you are posting something on Pinterest, it gets automatically shared on Facebook and Twitter. For instance, if you see that you have to focus on Pinterest and Pinterest is giving you amazing results on sales, then you will go all out and focusing on Pinterest, and you will not pay as much attention on Twitter and Facebook, because Pinterest is the holy grail for your social media revenue. Then you might want to connect your social media channels so that whenever you post it on Pinterest, your life becomes easy, because the same is shared on Twitter and Facebook too. To connect social media channels to Pinterest, you have to go to your Pinterest profile, and then you have to hit on settings, and then you scroll down. As you scroll down, at the end you will see that there is an option for social networks. I have already connected my Facebook account. Now I have to connect my Twitter by clicking on the Twitter button, and now I will now I have connected Twitter too. As you can see, it has been activated. Even I can connect my Gmail too, so that people in my Gmail manage your contacts, allow, and then I'll click save settings. One of the best technique on Pinterest is to pin the right product image, and for that you have to use dimensions which is 738 pixels wide and 1128 pixels high. So when you use these kind of dimensions, the image looks much bigger, and it's an optimized image for Pinterest, and Pinterest also recommends this. So if you use this kind of dimensions, your image will get lot of visibility. Do not use human faces. This is counter to most assumptions. So social media images which get likes and clicks are usually with human faces, but with Pinterest it's opposite. Have multiple colors in the image. Since Pinterest is a very visual channel and every image or every content is basically visual, your content should stand out, and for that it should have multiple bright rich colors. Now I am going to show you the exact product image which got the highest number of repins ever on Pinterest. So this is the product image which got the highest number of pins. As you can see, it is of the exact dimensions I was talking about, 738 by 1128, and you see that there is a lot of colors within this, and it is again related to food gets a lot of repins in Pinterest. So think on these lines, make sure your content stands out in order to get more number of pins on Pinterest. You have to use Pinterest widgets. One is you have to use follow button, the second is Pinterest share. You have to use board embed, so you can copy the board code and paste it in your blog so that people start following your Pinterest board. And you can also use rich pins. So all these tools Pinterest gives for its content creators. So you might have seen for something like Nordstrom or many of the e-commerce sites, they ask people to repin their product image so that they get more number of repins, and as a result they start getting some sales through Pinterest. So use these tools. For this you have to go to developers.pinterest.com and you'll have access to each of these tools. Just place them on your website and you should expect improvement in your Pinterest presence, both community wise and content wise. So that's it from this video. If you have any queries with Pinterest, and if you're not sure whether your business should be on Pinterest, or if you're not sure whether Pinterest is the right social media platform for you, then just type a comment below and one of us from our team will get back to you in the best way possible.